Hello Human Tribe and welcome back to a Thousand Details video. This one will not be about gear, but it will be more about this channel, who I am for the one of you who don't know me or my work. So let's start with it. I'm Gustavo Lima, born and raised in Porto, Portugal in 1987, so I'm a 90s kid. Since I remember, I always liked music, video games and technology. But what really opened my mind was in 1995. An older brother of a friend handed me a recorded cassette with a DJ set, and it was techno music. If I remember more or less, I think it was a Jeff Mills recorded set in really low quality, but that really blew my mind. That music that felt like the future and also deeply connected to video games in my head somehow got me really hooked on it. And 30 years later, with a family with one kid, a job, full-time in the music industry, despite not being creating music, adulthood responsibilities, and a ton more of other things, I'm still hooked on music, techno, and video games when I can. Before everything started in 2004, I've tried some softwares like Rebirth, DanceDJ, Cubase, and even Octamed on a family member's Amiga, but I couldn't make much sense of it. But that urge to create stuff as my heroes at that time, and still today, like Jeff Mills, Regis, Dave Clark, Surgeon, Fumiya Tanaka, 65D Mavericks, and many others more, that wish persisted with me. It first started in 2003 by DJing. At the time, I had a laptop, and with the MIDI controller and virtual DJ, and later on Tractor, I started to do my first DJ sets and understanding how things work. But it was around late 2004 when Ableton Live 4 came out with MIDI capabilities that everything started to click, and I was able to do music on a computer, which was much easier and accessible than having to buy the gear that I dream of when I had no funds, since I was a teen in those times. So I started by doing minimal techno. Back then, and at that time, me and my friends, we are really hooked on the minus stuff, and we went to all minimal techno parties in the north of Portugal. Plus it was the most similar stuff you had going on at the time, at least here in Portugal. The real techno parties were dying back then. Fast forward a few years, and after some quite successful minimal techno and techno projects that I had in a time where releasing music was much more, in a way I'll say easier, and connecting with people via MySpace and even Soulseek. I'm glad that around 2014 things started to have a better shape for me in terms of the techno sound at the time. It was more to my liking. Plus, I was able to finally start buying gear. After many years of doing music on a computer, I was sick of it, I was not feeling it at all, and I needed to touch stuff to do music. Gladly, I was able to commit to buy some hardware. First one was the analog rhythm, and little that I knew, I will become an addict of synths and Eurocrack. Since 2005, and after losing count of how many releases that I did with different project names, I managed to release on labels that I really liked as a Thousand Details. Such labels as Mord, Notweed, Haze, Symbolism, Ear to Ground, OAM, Edit Select, and many others more that you can check on Beatport. I also started my own label, ATD, where I am able to release with more freedom and whenever I want my works, which pleases me a lot. Having such freedom of decision of your works is also a very good experience in my opinion. Also in 2014, I started to develop and be more interested about live performance and improvisation, which I find much more fun than DJ sets, and still to this day I'm pushing much more that side of my work than DJ sets. Even knowing that the imposter syndrome is always crawling a little bit here, I have to be thankful for all these achievements and remember that I was able to do things I never imagined, as releasing in vinyl, on cassettes and digital, and connect to a lot of people, mainly because I put the hours and put the work in, and being where I am right now, it's not just by chance. Sure, there might be a little bit, but it's mainly because of a passion and putting hours and hard work to it. Well now, why create this platform channel now? So in 2020 I was streaming quite a lot. The time we lived made some sense, we were all at home and I was unemployed. So I thought, well, I'm spending all my day in the studio, alone. Why not just share with the people the things I'm doing, share my knowledge and maybe inspire others to do this stuff and learn with them. I was just using YouTube back then to archive the streams so people could rewatch them later. I never thought in doing this because I never, and even today I don't think I have the personality for it. But now it's 2024 and with a kid with 2 years old and a different mindset, different life goals, it started to make sense to create a vessel where I could share my ideas, my knowledge, and my ambitions. Also, this platform will allow me to reach and connect with more people and also let them know my work as music producer and also as sound designer for my sample packs and preset packs that I'm building on. And hopefully, it will allow me to depend more on myself and not on thirds, which is a good thing, at least for me. And if this helps me keep doing music and have a little bit more liberty, why not? I mean, if this can also improve my retirement fund, it's a good thing, right? The channel original ideas are very simple. First, showcase you hardware that I bought, or I had the chance to try, and understand if it fits my workflow and also your workflow. I also want to try to fill in a gap in YouTube, which is real techno music done with gear. It doesn't exist as much, at least for what I consider real techno music. There's already a lot of very good video manual content, which I think it's important, but there's not really a content where you can hear the machine doing proper music and fit in with other stuff so that we can understand better if it's something that we want to have, try, or whatever. Secondly, I also want to share tips about music production and ideas and knowledge, which I believe that will help you and me grow as better producers. Thirdly, talk about live performance and improvisation and see what paths we can take to have more fun with improvisation live, which is a topic and a hobby that I really love to do. And lastly, talk about more the business side of the techno realm of things. I've been around for a few years, had a few labels, helped people creating labels, and I think it's an important topic so that you can do your own journey and maybe not do the same mistakes that I did before. Of course, these are the original ideas, but as I progress and tweak things and improve, and especially hearing you guys' feedback, new ideas will come to implement on the channel for sure. A big part of this YouTube channel is also my Patreon, which I can share more stuff and not be worried about some algorithm that does whatever they want. In my Patreon, you'll find more content, more insights, stuff that I can go more into detail or share more content for you guys. Also, I have the Patreon shop where I'm putting all my work as sound designer with sample packs and preset packs. Your support that can start as low as $1.50. It's quite important to keep this channel alive and bring you even more content, if you like it, of course. Part of this channel, it's my Discord community. It exists since 2020 and you'll find there a lot of good people, from expert pros on the techno and music and also beginners who are starting. And most important, we talk about music, music gear, production, DJing, and many other topics. It's a very safe place to be, and what we want is just to connect and have fun. And lastly, Instagram, which is a platform that kind of pushed me into YouTube. I've been and I still do post snippets of what I'm doing in the studio, releases and all of that. And as it grew, people start having more questions and asking more stuff. And I thought, well, why not start a YouTube where I can go more in depth and do longer content? And this way, opening new doors, which I think is really important. Now, what about the future, right? So I think nobody can reply what about the future. We don't know the future. But the only thing that I know is that I'm going to put the work to become a better, meaningful content creator. Share my knowledge and connect with more people and learn with the people. Also, I want to use this platform to expand and to grow my sample and preset packs business because, well, we gotta live somehow, right? And along this new adventure, if I can give my family better life conditions, the better, I think. But as in music, what I really want is to be able to share my ideas, my music, my knowledge with others with the same passion and have a better network, which I think it's really important. It's our network, the people we know, the experiences and the memories we create. It's the only thing that we take in the end. It's the memories we build with other people and the stuff we did. I hope you enjoyed this little moment. See you soon. Thanks for your time.